Good afternoon, everyone. Let's try that again. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm inviting you all to stand as we sing the national anthem. Good afternoon again, everyone. This afternoon is an afternoon of celebration, achievement, and gratitude. As we reflect on how far God has brought us, we are reminded that true joy doesn't come from certificates, awards, or accomplishments. It comes from knowing Christ. So let's sing with energy and confidence as we declare, I've got the joy, 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 down in my heart. We'll tune our voices lustily to the song, I've got the joy, 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 down in my heart. I've got the joy, 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 down in my heart. Down in my heart, down in my heart. I've got the joy, 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 down in my heart to say, and I'm so happy, so very happy. I've got the love of Jesus in my heart, and I'm so happy, so very happy. I've got the love of Jesus in my heart. I know the devil doesn't like it, but it's down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart. Down in my heart. I know the devil doesn't like it, but it's down in my heart. Down in my heart to say, and I'm so happy, so very happy. I've got the love of Jesus in my heart, and I'm so happy, so very happy. I've got the love of Jesus in my heart. Thank you so much for your lively singing. We'll now assume a very solemn note as we get ready for prayer. I'll be inviting everyone to assume an attitude of prayer. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, Almighty God, we come before you this afternoon with hearts overflowing with gratitude as we gather to celebrate the Junior 6 and Senior 5 graduating classes of the Heinz Simonitsch School. We thank you for your presence, which has sustained us, your grace, which has covered us, and your strength, which has brought us safely to this milestone day. Lord, our theme for this ceremony reminds us that amazing starts with us, rebuilding our minds, reshaping our futures. We acknowledge today that this theme is not just a collection of words, but a testament to the journey we have walked together. We thank you for being our anchor through the literal and figurative storms of this past year. When the recent hurricane brought damage to our beloved campus, when anxiety tried to take root, and when the road to normalcy seemed steep, you gave our administrators, our teachers, and our parents the fortitude to dig deep and rebuild. Today, we look at these brilliant graduates and we see the ultimate proof of your faithfulness. Thank you for giving them the focus to push through intense exam preparations, mock assessments, and late-night studies despite the disruptions around them. They did not just endure, they rose above. You have rebuilt their minds with resilience, confidence, and wisdom. As they step forward today to reshape their futures, we commit their next chapters into your hands. Protect them, guide their steps, and let the values of excellence and determination they learned here remain a lamp unto their feet. May they leave this place knowing that because you are within them, they possess everything they need to do amazing things in this world. Bless this ceremony, bless every speaker, and let your peace fill this room. We give you all the glory, the honor, and the praise. In your holy name we pray, amen.
Good afternoon, everyone. All right, so I'll now be introducing our speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, let's be entirely honest. Is it really a Heinz Simonitsch School event if this person isn't front and center, bringing the vibes and holding down the fort? Absolutely not. Our master of ceremonies for this afternoon is Miss Deidre Walcott, a proud, deeply valued, and hardworking member of the HSS family. Ms. Walcott is a dedicated educator, mentor, and leader both in her school and home community. Her commitment to our young people is clear in every single life she impacts and has high standards of excellence that she consistently demands throughout them. She brings an unmatched level of professionalism, sharp insight, and grounded leadership to everything she does. Widely known for her vibrant presence and willingness to not only learn, but also to serve, Ms. Walcott truly embodies the HSS spirit. Her poise, electric energy, and genuine dedication to our students make her the absolute perfect person to steer the ship for today's celebration. Please join me and put your hands together and give Ms. Walcott a massive HSS welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Ms. Ainsworth, for that lovely introduction. Thank you, Ms. Ellis, also for grounding us in prayer and worship that has set the tone for today. Good afternoon, graduates. I didn't hear you guys. Good afternoon, graduates. Wonderful. Now, as Ms. Ainsworth said before, would it be a Heinz Simonitsch event if I wasn't up here talking? You want me to go and sit down? You want to hear me talk? All right, so I'm going to oblige and be your master of ceremonies, your lovely host, guiding you this afternoon on our graduation exercise. Now, before we dive into our program, I want to formally establish and observe protocols for this afternoon's ceremony. Please join me in acknowledging the distinguished platform guests and leaders. Mr. Brian Bagoo, who is the chairman of the board, and also members of the school board joining us both online and in person. Mrs. Tamar McKenzie, our head of school, her husband, Mr. McKenzie, and their children, Isabel and Taylor. Mrs. Fosnot, the president of the HSS Parent-Teacher Association. Mrs. Portia Down, who is the assistant, Downey, who is the assistant registrar of the Independent Schools branch. The deputy superintendent, Roderick Reed of the Coral Gardens Police Station. Mr. Antonio Erskine, branch manager of the Overseas Examination Council for the Western Campus. Miss Tanya Francis, manager of the Office of Student Services and Development, and also our external examinations coordinator. Mr. Aaron Gallimore, early childhood training and development officer, and also a former teacher here at the Heinz Simonitsch School. Miss Nadine Spence, vice president of the Montego Bay Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Mr. Leroy Anthony Gray, who is the assistant district grandmaster of the Freemason Association of the Jamaica and Cayman Islands. Miss Sashane Smith, which is also a former member of our Heinz Simonitsch School team. Our distinguished guests, parents, guardians, faculty, staff, friends, and most importantly, our incredible students. To our guest speakers and presenters who will be joining us on stage later today, please note that because these formal acknowledgements have officially been established, you are off the hook. You are now free to skip the repetitive greetings and dive straight into your message. This afternoon here at our graduation exercise 2026 for both Senior 6 and J6, we are gathered under powerful banner. Our graduation theme for this year is Amazing Starts With Us, Rebuilding Our Minds, Reshaping Our Futures. And I'm going to repeat that. Amazing starts with us, rebuilding our minds and reshaping our futures. Now, here at HSS, our motto has always been about changing average into amazing. But let me tell you, this year, that word amazing wasn't handed to us, it was earned. When we look at this graduating class, we are looking at true champions of resilience. We lived through the devastating impact of the recent hurricane. We watched our school campus, including our canteen, our filing room, our storage facilities, our classrooms, especially Kinder City, take heavy damage. They were destroyed, but not our spirits. We faced disruption and the stress and the psychological weight of trying to put the pieces back together. But look at us today. We didn't just survive, we rallied. Our administration, our parents, our teachers, and our students, they dug deep to rebuild this school and to return to normalcy as fast as possible. Through the chaos, these graduates kept their heads down. They weren't looking around, they weren't looking up, they were looking down, focusing on what they needed to do. They pushed through intense exam preparations, mock assessments, and late-night studies, refusing to let the storm dictate their destiny. And I can attest to the fact that a lot of them were saying, "Miss, it is too much. I'm not going to make it." But with their teachers behind them, with the staff of Heinz School, they persevered, and they are here before us today. That is exactly why Amazing starts with us. We had to rebuild our physical environment, but more importantly, we had to rebuild our minds. And by doing that, we have successfully reshaped our futures. Put your hands together for making it through the tough year and being here today. And parents, you too deserve to be acknowledged. So, while we're here to celebrate, let's bear in mind the challenges and the obstacles that they had to overcome. The things that they had to do to sit or stand before you here proud. And parents and guardians, you too should be proud because you were behind them as well. So to kick off our celebrations and to bring the official welcome, please put your hands together for our very own Alejandra Stewart, Deputy Head Girl of the Heinz Simonitsch School for the academic year 2025 to 2026.
Good afternoon, everyone. I would first like to adopt the protocols already established, recognizing our especially invited guests, members of the Heinz Simonitsch School Board joining us both in person and online, our administration, faculty and staff, parents and guardians, friends of the school, my fellow graduates, and our esteemed guest speaker, Mrs. Crystal Thomason-Carter. On behalf of the class of 2026, it is my pleasure and honor to welcome you to our graduation ceremony. Today marks the culmination of years of hard work, growth, perseverance, and countless memories. We are grateful that you have joined us to celebrate the important milestone and to share in the achievements of our graduating class. As I stand before you today, I find myself reflecting not only on the years we have spent in high school, but also on the journey that leadership has taken me on. When I first stepped into a leadership role, I thought leadership was about being in charge. I believed it meant giving directions, making decisions, and setting an example for others. While those things are certainly part of it, my time at the Heinz Simonitsch School taught me that true leadership is so much more. Leadership taught me responsibility. It taught me that people depend on you not because you are perfect, but because they trust you to show up, to listen, and to do your best even when things become difficult. There were days when balancing academics, extracurricular activities, personal responsibilities, and leadership roles felt overwhelming. There were moments when I questioned myself and wondered if I was doing enough. Yet, those challenges became some of my greatest teachers. They pushed me to become more organized, more patient, and more resilient. Most importantly, leadership taught me humility. It showed me that the strongest leaders are not always the loudest voices in the room. Sometimes, leadership means listening before speaking. Sometimes, it means admitting when you are wrong. Sometimes, it means serving others without expecting recognition in return. Through these experiences, I learned that leadership is not about standing above others, but about standing beside them. It is about encouraging those who doubt themselves, supporting those who are struggling, and helping others recognize their own potential. As I look around today, I see a class filled with promise. I see future entrepreneurs, educators, engineers, healthcare professionals, artists, innovators, and leaders. Each of us have faced challenges throughout our journey. We have celebrated successes that made us proud and overcome obstacles that tested our determination. Yet, through it all, we continue to move forward. Our school has given us much more than an education. It has given us lessons that cannot be found in a textbook. It has taught us perseverance when things become difficult, teamwork when tasks seem impossible, and courage when we are faced with uncertainty. It has challenged us to think bigger, dream boldly, and strive for excellence in all we do. To our teachers, thank you for your guidance, patience, and unwavering belief in our potential. The lessons you have taught us extend far beyond the classroom and will continue to shape our lives for years to come. To our parents and guardians, thank you for every sacrifice, every prayer, every word of encouragement, and every act of support. Your love and commitment have made this moment possible. To our head of school and school leadership, thank you for believing in us and for creating opportunities that allowed us to grow, lead, and develop skills that will serve us well beyond graduation. And to my fellow graduates, thank you for the memories, the friendships, the laughter, and even the challenges that helped shape who we are today. It has been an honor to share this journey with you. As we prepare to close this chapter and begin a new one, I hope we carry forward the lessons we have learned. I hope we remember that leadership is not defined by a title, a badge, or a position. Leadership is defined by our character, our actions, and the impact we have on the people around us. The person who entered this school years ago is not the same person standing before you today. Growth has a way of changing us, often through the very moments that challenge us the most. Today, we celebrate not only our achievements, but also the people we have become. Congratulations, class of 2026. May we continue to lead with integrity, serve with compassion, and pursue our dreams with confidence. Thank you, and welcome to the Heinz Simonitsch School Graduation Ceremony 2026 under the theme, Amazing Starts With Us, Rebuilding Our Minds, Reshaping Our Futures.
Thank you so much, Alejandra. And I too would like to add my quote of welcome to those persons who are joining us online for this graduation ceremony. Just because you're not here in person, your presence and your participation is welcome and noticed. To enhance the ambience and the atmosphere, music plays an important role. And so with us this afternoon, we have Miss Carmela Johnson. She will be giving us a lovely rendition on the steel pans. Please put your hands together as she plays for us. That was indeed beautiful. Can I have another round of applause on her behalf, please? Thank you, Ms. Johnson. Coming to the stage now is a young lady who, at first glance, you wouldn't think that she has the fire that she has behind her. Please put your hands together and welcome to the stage Miss Christina Gunter to give her charge to the students.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are truly honored to welcome you to this special occasion as we gather to celebrate achievement, growth, and new beginnings. As teachers, it has been both an honor and a privilege to guide and support our students throughout their educational journey. We have observed their development, not only academically, but also in character, confidence, and maturity, and we take great pride in all they have achieved. Additionally, I take this opportunity to acknowledge the consistent dedication of every teacher. Teaching is not merely a profession, but a devoted calling of purpose that requires patience, resilience, and compassion, often under circumstances that go unseen. Yet, day after day, our teachers consistently give their best, planning, guiding, correcting, and inspiring as they ensure that every student is given the opportunity to succeed. As this journey reaches a significant milestone, I extend sincere appreciation to the graduates for their hard work and perseverance. I equally extend recognition to the teachers who have supported them every step of the way. As graduates step into new paths, and as teachers continue the vital work of shaping minds, we move forward with gratitude and firm confidence for the future ahead. We are reminded of the assurance found in Scripture, as Philippians 4 verse 13 declares, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." May this truth continue to guide and strengthen us as we embrace all that lies ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Gunther. I would like to ask a question. When we graduate, we move on to the next level. But at this ceremony, how do you feel? What are the feelings that are coursing through you now? Anybody? Nerves? I didn't hear you, Julius. You were, oh, it was Kevon. Relief? Anybody else? What about J6? What are some of the feelings that you're feeling now? Yes? Excitement. And I love these adjectives because this shows that they are ready. They are prepared. They have been prepared for the next leg of this academic journey. Now, here to represent the graduating class of Junior School J6, we have Yash Makijani, who placed second in the PEP results this year. And that's no easy feat. He will be giving the Junior 6 graduate reply.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is an honor to stand before you today to speak on behalf of the grade 6 graduating class. Today marks the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. As we reflect in our years in junior school, we are grateful for the lessons we have learned, the friendships we have built, and the memories we will cherish forever. Our journey has not always been easy. We faced challenges, worked hard, and learned to preserve when times were difficult. Through it all, our principal, teachers, and parents guided us, encouraged us, and believed in us. To our principal, thank you for your leadership and dedication to our school. You have inspired us to strive for excellence and believe in ourselves. To our teachers, thank you for your patience, support, and commitment to helping us learn and grow. To our parents and guardians, thank you for your love, sacrifices, and encouragement. We would not be here today without you. As a class, we have excelled in academics, sports, the arts, and leadership. We have proudly represented our school in the Mathematics Olympiad competition, the Read, Speak, Lead program, the Child Conference Essay competition, and the Indian High Commission Art competition. We have also showcased our talents through the Mabay Dolphin Swim Club, ASAJ Artistic Swimming Program. These experiences have helped us grow in confidence, skill, and character. One song that reflects our journey is The Climb by Miley Cyrus. It reminds us that success is not just about reaching our goals, but about learning and growing through every challenge along the way. Most importantly, we thank God for guiding us throughout our junior school years. Our faith has given us strength, hope, and courage. As we look ahead, we are reminded of Jeremiah 29, verse 11, which states, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." This verse reminds us that God has a purpose for each of us and a bright future ahead. As we prepare to enter high school, we know that new opportunities await us. Although we may attend different schools and follow different paths, we will always carry with us the lessons, values, and friendships we gained here. To my fellow graduates, congratulations! We have worked hard to reach this milestone, and we should be proud of all that we have accomplished. Let us move forward with confidence, determination, and faith, knowing that our future is bright. On behalf of the grade 6 graduating class, thank you to everyone who has supported us on this journey. We are ready for the next chapter and excited for what lies ahead. Congratulations, class of 2026.
Thank you so much, Yash. Wonderfully read and done. As you know, here at the Heinz School, we promote not just the academic side of education. We believe in a holistic approach. And so we have fostered their skills and their talents. Now, here to show you what they have been doing from they have started until now, and to close out their journey here in the junior school, we will have a special performance by Jihan Gidwani and Ritika Vijay. Put your hands together and welcome them as they perform for you.
ਜਿਵੇਂ ਮੂਰਤੀ ਅੱਗ ਲਾਉਣੇ ਨਖਰੇ ਨੇ ਪੱਟਦਾ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਨੀ ਤੂੰ ਹੀ ਕੱਲੀ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਤੇ ਕੁੱਟਦੀ ਸਵਾਦ ਨੀ ਤੇਰੇ ਅੱਗੇ ਲੱਗਦੇ ਹੁਸਨ ਸਾਰੇ ਫਰਜ਼ ਹੀ ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਤੇਥੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਸੁਣੀ ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਤੇਥੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਨੀ ਗੋਲ ਗੋਲ ਹੱਡੀਆਂ ਦੀ ਠੱਕ ਠੱਕ ਲੀੜੇ ਲੱਤੇ ਹਾਂ ਤੇ ਲਾਵੇਂ ਲੱਖ ਸਿਰਾਂ ਮੱਥੇ ਵਾਲੀ ਤੇਰੀ ਲੱਟ ਉਹ ਤੇਰੀ ਜੂਏ ਤੋਂ ਵੀ ਮਾੜੀ ਲੱਤ ਸਿਰ ਤੋਂ ਪੈਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਤੱਕ ਪਿੰਡ ਤੋਂ ਸ਼ਹਿਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਤੱਕ ਉਹ ਤੇਰਾ ਕੀਮਤ ਹੋਵੀ ਗੋਲ ਲੱਕ ਉਹ ਸਾਰੇ ਤੇਰੇ ਤੇ ਜਤਾਉਂਦੇ ਹੱਕ ਲੈਂਬੋ ਵਾਂਗੂ ਵਿਸ਼ ਵਿਸ਼ ਧਰਤੀ ਤੇ ਤੁਰੇ ਤੇਰਾ ਡਬਲ ਸਵਿੰਗ ਲੱਕ ਖਾਏ
That was an exciting performance, wouldn't you say? And that is just a little taste of what is here. They have been performing for you, and we have a lot of other persons who have other talents and skills that will be displayed throughout. And here at Heinz, we tend to foster those skills. Any activity or hobby that they enjoy, we tend to encourage them, because school is not just about learning from the books. It's also about enjoying yourself, making memories, developing your talents, finding out what you're interested in, and also pursuing your goals and your dreams. So put your hands together once more as we thank Ritika and Jihan for that wonderful performance. At this time, I'm going to invite Miss Dana Lee Foote on the stage with me as we present We will be doing the recognition of student achievements. We'll be handing out we need to move this aside. We'll be handing out their certificates. And first, we have Iara Martinez Suarez. She has successfully completed the junior school course of study at the Heinz Simonitsch School and is hereby recognized for her outstanding dedication, hard work, and achievements. Paige Nish. Bella Zai. Diego Figueroa Urena. Rudy Cassels. Vincent Zhang. Chase Morin. Jihan Gidwani. Arav Tekwani. Daniel Brea Martinez. Arav Tekwani. Daniel Brea. Yash Makijani. For special awards. For citizenship, we have Daniel Brea. And Iara Martinez Flores. For most improved, we have Rudy Cassels. Our top math student Jihan Gidwani. Also receiving the top award for language arts, we have Jihan Gidwani. He will also be receiving the top prize for science for this year, 2026. Top social studies student, Yash Makijani. He also receives the prize for mental ability as a top student for 2026. For exemplary effort and conduct, we have Arav Tekwani. And Yash Makijani. The Exceptional Leadership and Initiative Award goes to Jihan Gidwani and Chase Morin. The award for resilience and tenacity goes to Tej Nish and Iara Martinez Suarez. So in third place for this year, school academic year 2025 to 2026, we have Arav Tekwani. In second place, we have Yash Makijani. And in first place, we have Jihan Gidwani. Put your hands together for all of them. We now invite to the stage the head of schools, Mrs. Tamar McKenzie, to present the head of schools award. And this award, it's a surprise. It goes to Yash Makijani and Jihan Gidwani. And this is the top prize for these students. Well done. They've worked hard and they have shown up and they have been rewarded. Thank you so much. Inviting Miss Ellis to the stage. Yes, miss. Please put your hands together for Alejandra Stewart.
Greet.
Marjane Deacon. Brianna Shelley. Corinne Chin. Penelope Ibar. Max Foster. Julius Jackson. D. Alexander Ennis Davis. Aiden Wong. Kevon Stewart. We will now be presenting the Senior 5 Core Awards. For citizenship, we have Kevon Stewart and Aiden Wong. For most improved, we have Brianna Shelley. Exemplary effort and conduct goes to D. Alexander Ennis Davis. Exceptional Leadership and Initiative goes to Kevon Stewart. Resilience and Tenacity Award goes to Max Foster and Marjane Deacon. Outstanding involvement in clubs and societies goes to Kevon Stewart. The Academic Excellence Award for 2026 goes to Max Foster. Community Impact and Service Award. The Community Impact and Service Award goes to Kevon Stewart. The Outstanding Deportment Award goes to Aiden Wong and Alejandra Stewart. Thank you, Miss Elliott. Can you just... We will now present the Head of School Award. It goes to D. Alexander Ennis Davis. Congratulations, D. We will now present the subject awards. Can I have the senior teacher standing on the side? First, we will use Miss Wilson, science teacher. The top biology student, Max Foster with 89%. He's also the top student for chemistry. The top economics student goes to D. Alexander Ennis Davis. The top English language student is Julius Jackson. The top literature student, D. Alexander Ennis Davis. The student who is top in math, Marjane Deacon. I'm asking for the senior teachers to just come and stand by me. All senior teachers for the subjects. The top principal of business student, Julius Jackson. The top principals of account student, Aiden Wong. The top principal of account student, Aiden Wong. Top physics student, Corinne Chin. The top Spanish student, D. Alexander Ennis Davis. The top geography student with a 96 percent average, Kevon Stewart. The top history student, D. Alexander Ennis Davis. The top IT student, Alejandra Stewart. The top awards for the S5 class. In third place, we have Aiden Wong. In second place, we have Kevon Stewart. And in first place, we have D. Alexander Ennis Davis. Please put your hands together once more for the students and their achievements. They have done well, and you are proud. Please show it. At this point in time, we welcome to the stage our valedictorians for the graduating class for 2025 to 2026, Corinne Chin and D. Alexander Ennis Davis, as they present their address.
Good evening, everyone. Dedicated faculty, proud parents, and my fellow students.
Standing here as valedictorians, we reflect on the path we've taken at the Heinz Simonitsch School. Today, our class's journey meets here on a single stage.
Graduation is often seen as the ending, but that also causes many people to forget that it's the beginning of something new. It is a demanding transition to the future, wherever that may take you, from here to America, to Canada, anywhere across the world, really. The education we received on these grounds was more than just grades, but preparation for the real world.
Years ago, when I took a leap and left the Montego Bay High School to join the Heinz Simonitsch, I felt small, like I didn't have a voice. I wasn't even sure I would do well, let alone have friends. And now, as I stand here before you, I'm happy to say I have grown. I've found my voice, and I've made lifelong bonds with people I've never expected to. I've made mistakes, I've laughed, I've cried, and I've endured. I learned lessons that will stay with me for the rest of my life, some with peers I hadn't anticipated to learn from, some from people far wiser than I ever expected to find out. Most of all, I learned that everybody can teach me something, no matter how tiny or how large. At this amazing school that helped me develop, looking back at the year of 2025 to 2026, it has been hectic, it has been grueling, but we made it. We survived Hurricane Melissa, and we survived our exams, and we had fun doing it. Thinking about that for a second.
For the past 13 years, I've gone to one institution, this institution. Think about that for a second. Going to one place your entire life, seeing mostly the same people every day. Being a student was a career, I'd be entitled to pension. Myself and my colleagues, for example, Aiden over there, have been going to the school for that long. We met each other under the banner of Heinz Simonitsch School, the community of the Heinz Simonitsch School. We shared the same education, the same social circle, but our experiences did differ. In my experience, I've chosen to combat finals and CXC. When I was in S1, they presented me the offer to do a C6 subject, and I didn't really know what that entailed, but I was gung-ho about doing, getting myself out there and doing projects, right? So I did it. I did New Year, what's it called, yearbook committee. I did the science fair. I did everything that they presented. To be honest, those 5,000 mornings that passed really make you think. That much time doing that many things, who would you be at the end of that? I watch our campus evolve, pack up and plant new roots from Half Moon Village to here on Irishorn Drive. We grew as the school grew. We changed as the school changed. And eventually, I found myself up here before you all. Look at the moments that define us, and you'll see our decade-long history. Look at the years of sports day, where new and previous students unite further to compete against each other. You look at the collective hours at this school, where we relentlessly and diligently studied for CXC. You look at the friendships strengthened every time we went on a field trip. We know each other's triumphs, we know each other's failures, and exactly how much guts it took for every person in these caps and gowns to step up on the stage today.
At Heinz, we were held to a standard that declined to accept mediocrity. We were challenged to think critically, debate rigorously. We learned to view perspectives different from our own and appreciate. Our classrooms were sometimes vibrant with laughter and sometimes quiet with focus. And with every moment, we grew.
Being valedictorian isn't about standing above anyone. It's about standing for everyone. It means having the honor to say that the foundation we built here together is unbreakable. Our founder, Heinz Simonitsch, built this institution with a couple of kids. Support came in from every angle, and that support turned the school into the great institution you see today. It is with that support that the school was able to give back, donating on numerous occasions to the breast cancer awareness, for instance. More personally, the school funded my online history classes, and for me, who's doing like 14 subjects for CXC, that's it kind of flexes up my schedule a bit.
Our achievements today are shared. To our faculty, thank you for demanding our best, refusing to let us settle, and providing the knowledge we stand here with today. After having our ups and downs from a Category 5 hurricane to our exams. To my dad, for giving me all the advice and guidance a girl could ask for. And my mom and my sister, for helping me to see that there's always a bright side, even when I found it insurmountably hard to see it. To Penelope and Kevon, for choosing to be my friends. Thank you for showing me that I don't always have to be serious, that I can be myself with people outside of my immediate family. And to all of you, my friends and family, I know I'm not the easiest person to get along with. I can be obstinate and emotional, as you can see now. But thank you for standing beside me throughout this journey.
And it is that very community spirit that brought us here today. To everyone in this room, thank you for your unwavering support and for investing in our futures, but especially to our teachers, parents, and close friends.
To the graduating class, the diplomas we receive today are mere credentials. What truly matters is how we apply ourselves. The world does not reward potential. It rewards action, integrity, and respect.
Whether your next step takes you across the globe or keeps you here to help shape Jamaica, carry the standard of excellence with you. Be sharp, stay disciplined, and maintain your focus with purpose. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2026.
Ladies and gentlemen, do you think that they deserve a bigger round of applause for that? Wow. I had to grab my Kleenex. I didn't know if I was gonna make it. What a heartfelt message from two students. And I listened to them and I took away a few key notes. 1, community spirit. 2, I didn't know if I was gonna make it, but I became a part of a family. And 3, did you hear when D. Alexander said he did 14 subjects? Good God, have mercy. Give him a round of applause, please. As we continue this afternoon's proceedings, we have a very special surprise message, and it is coming from a previous member of the Heinz Simonitsch family, Mr. Devon Keith. He's not here, but give him a round of applause.
Class of 2026. Join
It
me
looks like
in
flow
taking in
isn't
this
flowing.
moment. You Greetings, class of 2026. Join me in taking in this moment. You have made it. And as you step into this next chapter, whether it be high school, university, work, or starting your own business, remember this. Your greatest impact may not come from your good grades. It may come from your words, your conduct, your conversation, your character. You're changing average into amazing. I then challenge you with this. Borrowing the words of the Apostle Paul in Titus 2 verse 7, in everything, set them an example by doing what is excellent. Congratulations once again. Go, make Jamaica proud.
Thank you very much, Mr. Keith. I'm sure everybody appreciated that message. At this time, we invite Jihan Gidwani to introduce our keynote speaker. Oh, my apologies, my glasses. Oh, I didn't have, oh, sorry, let me put them on now. All right, we move right into a special item from our graduating class of Junior 6. Put your hands together for these amazing students.
No more seeing the dream I'm dreaming, but there's a voice inside my head saying you'll never reach it. Every step I'm taking, every move I make feels lost with no direction. My faith is shaking, but I gotta keep trying. Gotta keep my head held high. There's always gonna be another mountain. I'm always gonna wanna make it move. Always gonna be an uphill battle. Sometimes I'm gonna have to lose. Ain't about how fast I get there. Ain't about what's waiting on the other side. It's a climb.
The struggles I'm facing, the challenges I'm taking, sometimes might knock me down, but no, I'm not breaking. I may not know it, but these are the moments that I'm gonna remember most. Yes, just gotta keep going, and I gotta keep strong. Just keep pushing on, 'cause there's gonna be another mountain. I'm always gonna wanna make it move. Always gonna be an uphill battle. Sometimes I'm gonna have to lose. Ain't about how fast I get there. Ain't about what's waiting on the other side. It's a climb.
Jeremiah 29 verse 11 states, For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Today, as the graduating Junior 6 class of 2026, we stand at the end of one journey and the beginning of another. We step forward with grateful hearts, cherished memories, and dreams for the future. With faith in God, courage, and determination, we are ready to climb higher, reach farther, and become all that we are created to be.
Another round of applause for Junior 6, ladies and gentlemen. So we have a very talented family here at Heinz. I saw dancers earlier, singers just now, top academic performers, community outreach. I think we've ticked all the boxes. A round of applause for the Heinz family. And I have my glasses on now so I can see perfectly. And it's a pleasure and an honor to introduce Jihan Jigwani, the top 2026 PEP performer, who will do the introduction for today's keynote speaker. Make him feel welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon, parents, teachers, students, and guests. Oftentimes, someone walks into a room and it changes the energy entirely, and that is what it is like when passion meets purpose. This afternoon, the moment we all been waiting for is finally here. A former World University debater and the only female in the Caribbean and Latin America to hold the title of World Public Speaking Champion. She is a public speaking and high-performance coach, helping women, teams, and teens to speak with courage, lead with emotional intelligence, and execute with excellence. She is the author of the book, Kill Fear, The Art of Courageous Living, and was ranked by the prestigious Success magazine as one of the 125 most influential voices in the world. She has served over 700,000 persons as a speaker and event host, and has directly coached over 300 women in public speaking and emotional intelligence. Today, she is a trusted partner for multinational corporations, financial institutions, and government agencies across the Caribbean and North America as a high-impact speaker, facilitator, and performance coach. She is no other than Mrs. Crystal Tomlinson Carter.
Oh, thank you. Good evening, everyone. How are we feeling? And don't say warm, hot, and good. I've banished those words for today, so let me ask you again, how are we feeling? Summer, fabulous. You look summer fabulous, if I do say so myself. It's a pleasure to be here with you, and I want to say thank you, big thank you to Tamar for inviting me to share with a very prestigious group of high performers. I got a little rundown of how well this cohort has done, and every student across Jamaica, no matter what the outcome was for them, as long as they were able to finish in their right mind after what they have gone through, between COVID in 2020 as an entry point to either high school or preparatory school, and then the glorious Melissa, shifting all the plans for everybody, parents included. So once you were able to complete your academic journey, any level of education that you were at during that time, you are a star and a high performer. And we recognize the effort that went into completing that. But even in that pool of people who have managed to finish, there are those who have finished well, those who have finished with excellence as their hallmark, and they too deserve their own moment in the sun. So a round of applause for the graduates that are here who have done outstanding work just to finish, but have moved beyond outstanding to stellar and exemplary performance that we're going to be talking about for years to come. So another round of applause for them again. But they could not have gotten here without the work that your teaching and academic staff, administrative staff, would have put into preparing them and steadying the ship, even though it tried a couple of times to sink. And of course, the parents whose unrelenting belief in the ability and the skills of your child or children have caused you to continue to work and persist despite the difficulties, to find the time, to find the resources, to find the extra hand to help and ensure that your child has access to the best and greatest quality education that will open doors for them. So for the parents, guardians, teachers, even those that may be in the wings that we can't see right now because they're still tying up little bows and strings to get everything ready for the next phase of the evening, I want you to recognize yourselves in this process, and I'm going to ask the graduates now to give them a round of applause for the work that they have done. Now, the theme for today is more than fitting. I don't think you could have crafted anything else that's aligned with the moment we're in, but most importantly, the kind of mindset that's going to be necessary as you move forward. The idea that we will have rebuilding to do in our communities, in the business space, for the school campus, and broadly across the country is a mammoth task, but one I think that every Jamaican and every person living in Jamaica is committed to doing and doing well. But no matter where you are on that age scale and range, there is work for you to do too. So while we're not going to change our labor laws and force it into the workforce so we can start rebuilding a little faster, there is work that we require of you to continue to maintain a standard of excellence in our education system so that when you do enter the world of work, you are highly competitive. The world sees you coming, and everybody else who is prepared at other institutions will get nervous because they see you coming with skill, with tenacity, with discipline that cannot be replicated. So you too will have your work to do, even though it may not be a 9-to-5 work. And I'm sure that you are ready for the task. True or false? Easiest test question you're ever going to get. But what does it take to rebuild? What does it take to design a fresh life, especially where much of the foundation may have been shaken from under you? There are many tips and tools that you can find in the books and on the videos and the YouTube and the shorts and the TikTok. But I wanted to use my experience to help you locate some of those strategies so that you can see a real-life example of what the rebuilding looks like sometimes. The first lesson I learned on my journey, and I'm only just the meager, tiny, tender age of 36. Okay, good, that landed well. Yes, the young age of 36. But in my 36 years of life, I feel like I've learned enough to share and to teach. One of the first things I learned in life was that failure is fertilizer. You may have had goals that you were aiming for and didn't quite hit. You may have tried and tried again through your persistence, and you still didn't get the exact outcome that you were looking for. If you choose to look at fertilizer, at fear rather, as evidence that you cannot do a thing and will not do it well, you cheat yourself out of an opportunity to learn from the failure and use that as fertilizer for your next attempt. The grown-ups in the room know this very, very well. Raise your hand if you have failed less than 10 times in your whole life. None of us. We're walking around and failing every day. No matter how we look like we have it together and we are insisting that you build some disciplines and some habits so that you can get your life in order, we are struggling every day to remember to eat our meals and take our vitamins and to exercise and budget and to save and stop eating so much KFC and whatever we're not supposed to be eating and cooking the food that we buy at the supermarket, maintaining boundaries between our co-workers, good boundaries with our family members, nurturing relationships with the people we love. We are struggling to keep it all together. And we are failing in the process, but we don't stop. We've made mistakes even in our parenting journey, but we don't stop. We continue to learn, and we use those failures as fertilizers. One of my first big failures was actually when I was a teenager. I went to 4 different high schools. I like to think of it as my Columbus era, right? I was just going around to explore, find new land, and establish myself in new territories. My 4 high schools, 2 of them in Kingston, Merle Grove High School and Alpha Academy. I have a little fan in the bag there, so in case I start to melt, yes, please, so I can have it running while I speak. But my first 2 high schools were Merle Grove High, thank you so much, beautiful lady, Merle Grove High School and Alpha Academy. Why did I end up at so many high schools? I was a little rambunctious and it was difficult for me to settle. So I had a lot to say, a lot of things in my head, not a very good filter, and I would test boundaries with ease. I don't mind getting in trouble because I'm almost confident, 100%, that I can talk my way out of it. And if I get in trouble with a group, I can weasel my way out a little better because I have very good grades. So nobody wants to see me fail. Everybody wants to see me do well because my grades say that I have very good capacity and skill. So I got myself in trouble a lot while I was at Merle Grove High School. At the end of second form, they called my mother and they said, listen, you have to move her. Because if you don't, she might do something that causes us to expel her. And once you get expelled from a school, I don't know how it works anywhere else in the world, but you can't get into any of the so-called good schools with an expulsion on your record. So my teachers, recognizing that I had something up here, said, come and move her as quickly as you can. So my mother moved me to the Convent of Mercy, Alpha. Many of you may not know which school that is. It's a school run by nuns. So clearly she thought that the Holy Ghost, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit would get me right. It didn't work. I lasted 1 year at Alpha. And at the end of that year, again, a teacher said, she has so much potential, you have to move her because if she keeps getting in trouble, she's not going to be able to actualize that potential. Fail me or fail, you know. Failing at school 1, failing at school 2, and then she moved me to school 3, which was in rural Jamaica, Manchester High School. Barely made it through there. Completed 5th form, got all my subjects, applied to go into 6th form, and the principal said, well, while she has her subjects, and one of them I got the highest in the island at CSEC for that. While she has her subjects, she's not good for the community, so she has not yet learned how to be a good steward of this mind and influence that she has, and she leading people astray. Because of course, me get all of my subject them, and the people that I'm making mischief with did not fare so well. So in his wisdom, and I always thank him for it whenever I speak, the principal at the time, Mr. Jasford Gabriel, said we're not taking her back for 6th form. Here comes school number 4, the Carteret College, also in Mandeville. That was my wake-up call, and that's when I realized that all of these failures were trying to teach me something, and if I don't stop, I'm gonna keep repeating the same grade over and over again until I learn the lesson. So I looked at myself. I recognized that I was embarrassing my mother for no good reason because she's sacrificing to put me and my brother through school with no help from my father. So let's get it together so she will have something that she can brag and boast about, because every parent wants something that them can say, look here, I've invested all the time and resources, and this is what I have to show for it. So I had one last lick, as we would say in Jamaica, to give my mom something to show for it. And in 6th form is when I alchemized all of those lessons in my failures to turn it into wisdom. Since I could talk very well, why not talk for the school? They had a debating society. I joined the debating society, eventually became the captain of the society. When we entered our very first competition, which was a Manchester Cooperative Credit Union debating competition, we won. And not only did we win, which is something we hadn't done before, we brought home computers. So now I was mobilizing resources for my academic institution and not just being, thank you, being somebody that's detracting and distracting from what the school is trying to do. I was part of the building, even though I too was learning how to rebuild myself, give my name good character and good meaning, cause people to see me as an asset and not a liability on the school campus. So I was able to turn those small failures in the larger scheme of my life, but at the time, they had a very big impact on my academic journey. Turn that and those lessons into fertilizer for what I would do next. So when I finished high school, I went on to university, the UWI Mona campus. Now in my dreams, I would probably have done SATs and done the SAT classes and the prep for all of that, and then applied for some Ivy League institutions and try and get some funding through some scholarships. But again, Hopscotching through 4 high schools does not suggest that you're a settled student. So I also had to temper the ambitions that I had. And then the reality of it was the resources just were not available for my mother to invest in that level of education. If you are in the 5th form batch transitioning out, any of you have a list of schools overseas, perhaps some Ivy League schools that you're looking to matriculate to? Raise your hand. Yeah, I like that you could even dream to go that far and then make steps to go there, because that was not available to me and for thousands of other students that are on this island. So you are stepping into an elite category, and even if you don't do it with your first degree, for those of you who did not raise your hand, your second degree is an opportunity. Your master's program is an opportunity. If you want to have 2 first degrees, nobody can stop you, right? So continue to apply the discipline, the pressure of discipline to the goals that you have, and give yourselves room, even if you're failing at small things or big things, to learn and deposit that learning into your next big decision. But I moved on to university, and I said, well, let's keep talking. This talking thing seems to be working for me. I could be going places. What are the places? I'm not quite sure, but at least I'm now in university. Joined the university debating competition, and that is where I learned a second big lesson as a student and also a student of life. My faith has to always be bigger than my fear. I look at the world, and the world is big for a 17, 18-year-old coming from rural Jamaica, stepping into a big school with big, bright people and big names. And I want to make a mark for myself, not sure how. The fear and the reasons to be afraid would have been bigger than the faith at the time. But I want you to remember that all your fear is doing is measuring the risk, measuring the scale of the opportunity, measuring the challenge. Your faith is measuring the size of the God that you serve. Now, I don't know the name of the God you serve, but if you are clear that the God you serve is bigger than the circumstance in front of you, you use your faith in those situations. You allow your faith to measure the size of your God and what your God can do for you in those moments. Don't let fear get access to the scale and start with the measurement. Because fear is not going to measure God. Fear is not going to measure your skill. Fear is not going to measure your background and your competence. Fear is not going to measure for you the scale of the winds, the tailwinds that are pushing you forward. All fear is looking at is the headwind. All the things that could stop you, could push you back to cause you into a nosedive. So you have to decide what you're using to measure the opportunities that you're about to step into. Whether you're moving into high school or you're moving into a higher level of education than that, use your faith to measure the size of your Creator and all the things that God energy has allowed you to do and the ways it has allowed you to succeed. Don't let fear win. So on the campus, the size of the fear was big, and I was learning to allow the size of my faith to be bigger. They invited me to apply for the debating society on campus. I joined the debating society, and then they had competitions to select the students out of the big pool that was a part of the club to represent the university at the World's University Debating Championships. That year, the event was going to be held in Turkey. I had never left Jamaica. I'd never even had a passport. Where was I going to go? I didn't have anywhere to go. So I didn't even have a passport. My only form of ID at the time was always going to be my school ID. So when they asked us to try out, my first thought was, here's the fear now, but I don't even have no passport. How am I going to reach Europe? The fear say again, but even if you were to get the passport, how are you going to get the visa? Because that is something you have to pay for too. And at the time, you had to fly through the UK. How am I going to find money to pay to apply for a UK visa? I'm on student loan coming to school and applying for more loans to maintain my housing situation on campus. And the fear tried to talk me out of trying out for the team. You know what helped? Other people who saw the light and the competence in me. Now I want you to pause and I want you to think. Is there somebody in the room right now who believes in you more than you believe in yourself? Turn around and make eye contact with that person. See if you can find them. Person, if they're looking for you, make sure they can find your eyes. And just blow them a kiss. Because sometimes that is what it is going to take. For us to find the faith, we have to go borrow a little bit of somebody else's faith in us. We have to go apply for a little loan and get some of mommy faith and auntie faith and daddy faith and uncle faith and deposit it in us, because by ourselves, we might still think ourselves incapable and unworthy. But there were other kids who saw it in me, and they said, Crystal, come, you're about to miss the tryouts. And I said, all right, let me come and try. You know, sometimes you say you're going to try. I said, I'm going to try. Never expected anything from it. I said, I'm going to try, have fun. The worst that can happen is I don't make it. I never did think I'm going to make it anyway. So I'm going to try. I made the team, ladies and gentlemen. And I was able to represent my university at the international level in the world's debating competition. I made the team a second year. This time, the journey took us to Botswana. I made the team a third year. By this time now, you know, excellence is my hallmark. Because after I met the team the first time, whatever the devil was trying to tell me I could not do, the argument already done. The test done take, and I've proven myself worthy and capable. So now, it's just how many times I can do it before they tell me, you have to graduate now, Crystal, and leave the university alone. So I was able to do it 3 times, and the third one was to the Philippines, Manila in the Philippines. This little girl who met upon the opportunity to be expelled several times throughout her high school journey, deciding that she would learn the lessons quickly to stop repeating that particular grade in life, and then opting through faith in myself and the faith of others in me and the faith in my Creator to try and do something that felt bigger than my capacity. I tried out for the team, and every single year that I tried out, I made it. But here's a zinger for me in that story. When we got to Botswana in year 2, my coach said to me, you must try out for the world's public speaking competition, which is a competition inside the debating championships. Didn't think I could do it when we were in Turkey because he did ask, and I was too afraid to try. I had done a fearful thing already. I couldn't take on another fear. It did just feel too much for me in one go. So by the time we got to Botswana now, I think it was my Wakanda energy, right? I stepped on the continent and I was like, maybe if I was gonna be beaten, you could beat me in Europe, but you're not gonna beat me in Africa, right? So I tried out. Again, I tried just to see how things can go. And I tried, and I was successful. Now, I want you to understand the caliber of people that I went up against and why the faith had to be bigger than the fear, because that fear was huge. I'm staring down the line at people in the competition from Oxford, Harvard, Yale, Cambridge, MIT, Stanford, you name it, they are there. And they all have a little copy of The Economist in their hand. Now, The Economist is a subscription magazine. You have to pay for it monthly. The university I'm coming from, anything I'm reading must be available in the library. And The Economist copies, you have to borrow them and put them back. So I'm intimidating just looking at how they're operating, the level of resource access that they have, the confidence and bravado that they're walking around with. And in that moment, I decided, I'm going to pretend that I have a little of that confidence too. So you must see me coming with my little afro and wonder what I'm coming to do. Because I insist that I'm going to dominate. I didn't come this far just to come this far. I'm not in this space just to take up space. I'm going to dominate. I'm going to leave and make a mark such that you will remember me, the little black girl with the afro coming from the university in the Caribbean, because they could never remember the name of the university. But most importantly, knowing for myself that I could go up against people who I thought were better and brighter and still knock it out of the park, no matter what my antecedents were. So we do it, we win, we came back to Jamaica, and then the university had awards for me. No, let me tell you why this was so important. Ladies and gentlemen, all my life going through university, the only badge I could get was a house badge. I couldn't get any prefect badge, any monitor badge, any house captain badge, any sub-prefect badge, any student council badge. I was just making too much mischief to get any other badge except the one that said, I am in this color house. So when I returned to the university and recognized that through my own effort, through the hard work, through the skill building, through the couraging that I was practicing, I could earn accolades, not riding on anybody's coattails, not because I have any fancy name that could open a door for me, not because I have any money that could influence people's decision, just from the hard work alone. I taught myself a third lesson. Hard work is going to beat talent every single time. Because when talent comes in the room, it's probably because the door opened automatically. Just saw it coming and saying you look talented. The world celebrates talent. We love the novelty of it. The first person to ever, the only person who has the number one, the number two, the fastest, the quickest. We love the novelty of someone who is exceptionally talented. But while talent can get you in the room, it is your discipline and your habit-forming abilities and your consistency that's going to keep you in that room and cause you to be a leader in that very space. So don't watch who might get in before you. Don't watch who get in easier than you. Don't watch who get in with a lot of applause and clapping and noise making and trophies and medals alongside you. If you are willing to put in the work, there is nobody on talent alone that could defeat you. And that talent could be coming from Harvard, Oxford, Yale, Stanford, anywhere. If you are willing to put in the work, your hard work is going to be talent every single time. And if you fail to recognize that, you rob yourself of an opportunity to demonstrate leadership in the spaces that you're going to be called to. So when I got back to the university, my mother finally got to come to school. Remember 4 school I go already, you know. This is school number 5. Finally, my mother gets invited to an award ceremony where her daughter is going to be receiving an award. She has been called to the principal's office for many other things, but never this. And she was called on 2 occasions. In the first year, I was awarded the UE Premier Award for Culture. And in the second year, again because of my voice, the UE Premier Award for Leadership. And I believe still the only female to get back-to-back, we're calling them titles now, across different disciplines at the university. And let me tell you, if I could have run, I would have get Sportswoman of the Year too. But me never have that particular skill, and I didn't know how to develop it in time. But the point is, the things that were off limits to me while I was in high school making mistakes became available to me because I decided to learn from those mistakes and apply the pressure of discipline and faith to move into spaces that I wasn't quite sure I belonged in. And the last lesson I want to leave you with is something that I'm still learning because this portion of the journey isn't over, and that is called time. The benefit of time. In the gym, or instructors call it time under tension. So when you're doing a squat, you can't just go down and get up, so. The trainer needs you to stay down there. And they're going to say, you can't come up until 10. And for them, 10 is the longest 10 you will ever find. 10, 9, all of a sudden, them can't count when you're waiting on them to get to the 0. The time under tension is what builds muscle. So the pressure sometimes that you're under requires discipline and requires the stick-to-itiveness because what you're building is better muscle, mental muscle, emotional muscle, spiritual muscle, physical muscle to move into your next phase of life. So don't run away from the time under tension that it will take for you to excel. But the other reason I touch on time is because you're about to enter another level of your education, exposed to technology that we, the adults, are still trying to wrap our minds around. You're going to be exposed to thoughts, ideas, ways of approaching success in a way that conflicts with everything that I'm saying to you right here. I am telling you that you need to have courage, and you're probably going to open TikTok, and somebody say all you need is a banger phone. I am going to tell you that failure is supposed to be fertilizer, and somebody's going to tell you that we're not taking no failure, it's only success, success, success alone. And it is going to conflict with all the other lessons around character building that they're teaching you here and in your home. So you're going to have to be able to sift through those bits of information, conflicting information, pervasive information. The culture that tells you your success is just a microwave, popcorn approach away is misleading you. Anything that is built to last takes time to build. And if you look in nature, it's the same set of lessons you're getting daily. The passage of Hurricane Melissa showed us which edifices were built to last, which trees had sufficient roots such that every other tree around it blew down, but it was still standing. Anything that is built to last, it's going to take time to grow it. So if you think of an oak tree, it takes a very long time to grow. But once it grows and starts to bear fruit, it bears fruit generation after generation after generation. So there are people who will live and die before that oak tree ever dies. There are people who will come to hear stories about things that happened under the oak tree and make up their own stories as they encounter that oak, because it is almost invincible, having taken time to deepen its roots before trying to grow tall and pretty and bear fruit. But while you're doing your oak tree work, the grass going pop up, and grass spring up fast. The daffodils and the lilies going pop up, and those things pop up faster than an oak. Don't be distracted. Don't be discouraged when you're seeing people blooming faster than you. Sometimes all they're growing is a daffodil, and you are growing an oak tree. So in their beauty, you can recognize it. Oh, that's fabulous. That's lovely. I like that. I want to support that. Let me recommend that to somebody. If that is what you are growing, and that is your calling to grow it, good for you. I'm not going to talk down to your daffodil. But remember, you have to talk up to my oak. Because while it is taking time, I will not be pressured. While it is taking time, I'm not going to compare my work to what you are doing. While it is taking time, I'm not going to be rushed into taking shortcuts and to doing things that are not integrous to do, because I'm growing an oak. And if it is being built to last, it must take time. Now, that is counterculture. And essentially, success that is sustainable is asking you to run counter to the culture. It takes courage to do that. But I don't doubt that you have enough courage in you to say no to the things that are not for you, and yes to the things that are aligned to your highest good. To be able to face this world and to come out on the other end stronger, to face any kind of crisis that disrupts your foundation, and to be able to rebuild better requires courage. But courage undergirded by an understanding of what it truly takes to build an amazing life. It requires you to see failure as a teacher, not as something to run away from. It requires us to have faith that is bigger than the fear that is talking us out of our potential. It requires us to remember that if we work hard enough, that hard work can outdo talent at every opportunity, because discipline delivers a reward every time. And then, because it's time that all these things must happen in, you must be clear about what you're growing. If you need it to grow fast, be prepared for it not to last. But again, anything that is built to last must take time. That is the secret to success. It's not a fancy packaging. It don't encourage you to jump gung-ho in it. But if you are of sober mind and you have wisdom in you that is connecting with what I've just shared, you will not be intimidated to know that hard work is what is required to be a success in life. I'm wishing you greater heights beyond which you have not seen or heard, beyond which your parents cannot even fathom, exceeding in capacity whatever your wildest dreams are. And I want to encourage you, as you are setting that vision and establishing those dreams, to reach beyond your grasp. Don't just reach for what you can get. Don't just reach for what is within arm's length, what is available and what you are permitted to touch. Reach beyond your grasp. Stretch and force yourself to go further than you are either permitted to go or yourself believe you have the capacity to go. Because it is in the stretching and the effort that you demonstrate to your Creator that you're ready to go. And so people will come to fuel you on the journey and to help bring those goals a little closer to you. Continue to dream bigger than generations before you. And I encourage you to reach beyond your grasp. Thank you.
I'm going to have to ask for another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Look on all my notes. All my notes. And if you bear with me, there are some that are worth reiterating. You know I'm going to do it, right? Because when we are talking about building our futures, it's so important that when we hear these nuggets, that we repeat it and that we try to remember it. Failure is fertilizer. And we're growing up in a society that makes us feel that failure is bad or failure will not happen. But remember always it's fertilizer for your next step. Another thing Mrs. Carter shared with us was she got, her mom was called to come and take her to her next school opportunity. And one of them, because even though she had the good grades, she was not a good steward of the community. And I think we need to remember that. And I see that Heinz has set the foundation for all of you to be good stewards of your community. So wherever you go, whether it's here, it's in the US, it's Canada, it's somewhere in Europe, it's somewhere in a country that we've never heard before, remember to be a good steward of your community. Don't let fear win. I love that one. Don't let fear win. And I'm going to back it up with, you remember when she said, let me try? Let me try. Let me try, you know? And she tried 3 times, not only 3, but 4 times. And on each occasion, she won. Just try. And she may win, and you may not. But remember, what did she say? The first thing, what did she say? Huh? Failure is fertilizer. Remember that. Hard work is going to beat talent every time. Discipline and consistency are super important. I don't want you to forget that. Go prepared. When you are talented, use that as an extra skill you have to add to your hard work, your discipline, and your consistency. And bear with me, I just have 2 more points. Remember that you are an oak tree, not a daffodil. I love that one. I might steal it, so if you hear it in a future keynote, it's me. Remember, you are an oak tree. It means that it's going to take time. But continue putting in your hard work and your discipline. Because one thing that each and every one of you want to do is you want to last the test of time. And anything built to last must take time. Ladies and gentlemen, please give Mrs. Tomlinson Carter another round of applause. I feel inspired, like I could just go out there and do it. I don't know what it is, but I'll find out. Good job, excellent. As we move on with the proceedings, we have another surprise. But before we get to the surprise, I'm going to invite Chase Marin from our graduating Junior 6 class to do the presentation to the guest speaker.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the Heinz School, I extend our sincere gratitude to our distinguished guest speaker, Mrs. Crystal Tomlinson Carter. Mrs. Crystal Tomlinson Carter, thank you for sharing your wisdom, experiences, and words of encouragement with our graduates today. Your message beautifully reflects our theme, Amazing Starts With Us. Rebuilding our minds, reshaping our futures, and reminded our students that leadership is rooted in integrity, purpose, compassion, and service. Your journey continues to inspire countless young people across Jamaica to dream boldly, embrace challenges, and believe in their limitless potential. The insights you shared today will undoubtedly leave a lasting impression on our graduates as they take the next step in their educational and personal journeys. Thank you for taking the time to celebrate this special milestone with us and for the positive impact you continue to make in the lives of young people. Ladies and gentlemen, Please join me in expressing our heartfelt appreciation to Mrs. Crystal Tomlinson Carter. Thank you, Mrs. Tomlinson Carter, and may God continue to bless you and guide you.
Thank you so much, Chase. And we move into a little surprise from some of our parents. Now, we weren't able to get all of the parents because, as we know, schedules sometimes do not allow. All right, kids? And mommy and daddy working hard to make sure that they can send you to Botswana, Philippines, and other beautiful countries across the world. So we do have a few videos from some parents who were able to make it, and they are a bit special and a bit of a surprise. And know something, each and every one of you, and Mrs. Tomlinson Carter said it in her speech, each and every one of you have someone that believes in you. And sometimes that's your friends, and sometimes that's your family. But 100%, always, never, without a doubt, it's your parents. So over to you.
Hi everyone, I'm Thakurdas Makijani, Yash's father. Yash, I cannot believe you are graduating already. I am proud of you, my son, everything what you've done. It looked like just you born and growing so fast and quick, and the time runs so faster. It's very amazing. Keep it up, work hard and believe in yourself. No matter whatever happens, your family is with you and I'm with you, my son. Don't worry yourself. Congratulations, son. We love you and be proud of you.
Kevon, you came into this world with an untamed fire and an unbreakable spirit and an aura of true greatness. You stand steady and unwavering against obstacles. You learn, then you adapt until you can chart your own way. You have a quiet dominance that enters any room before you even arrive. The legacy you carry may be heavy, but it's worthy of who you are becoming. Just always know that you have our support, our love, and we are truly proud of you. Congratulations, son.
Hey Kevon, congratulations on reaching this important milestone. We are so proud of the hard work, growth, and determination that you have shown so far. As you move on to the next chapter, always believe in yourself, stay focused, and continue striving for excellence. Remember that there's no limits to whatever you can achieve in this life. We love you, and we'll always be there for you in the background, because now it's your show.
To my baby, Marjorie, from the day you entered this world, I know you were born for greatness. As you reach this very important milestone of your educational journey, I am so proud of you. Your hard work and determination has paid off. As this chapter closes and you enter the other, go with your head held high. Stay focused and aim for the heavens. Remember, greatness lies within you, and you can achieve anything you put your mind to. Put God first in anything you do, and He will direct your path. Remember, mommy, daddy, grandma, aunts, uncle, we all love you dearly. Look at you. Just look at you. You did it. You did it, my baby.
Hi Penny, it's graduation day. I hope you feel happy and excited about the future. I'm expecting great things from you. I love you and I'm looking forward to see what is ahead. Have a great day.
Hi, I'm Tasha's big sister, and I just want to start off by congratulating you on this huge accomplishment from all of us. You make us so proud every day, and I couldn't have asked for a better sister than you. It's been so amazing seeing your journey from just a little baby into the young lady you're becoming. It was just yesterday you were calling rice woof woof, and now you're going off to high school. I know you're going to make us all so proud, and we look forward to seeing what you do and the young woman that you become. From your Sissy Poo Thais and to you, Sissy Poo Ani, I love you so much.
Hi, this is Priyangna, Jihan's elder sister, and I wish Jihan all the very best.
Hi, this is Ankit, Jihan's brother, and I wish Jihan all the best.
Everyone, my name is Dhruvi Gidwani. I am Jihan Gidwani's mom. Congratulations, Jihan, for your big day. Wishing you all the best for your shiny and bright future. We are always proud of you. Love you, my darling.
Hello everyone, my name is Mohan Gidwani. I'm Jihan's father. Hey Jihan, congratulations for your great success. This is just the beginning of your incredible journey. I'm here to support you for every step of the way. We love you, Jihan.
At this time, we move right into our Parents Recognition Award, because we know that behind each and every one of you, your parents are there pouring into you, working hard, making sure that you have all the tools that you need to do well in school, and supporting our teachers to ensure that this partnership that we've built between school and home is a successful one. At this time, I introduce Ms. Shannon Witter, our Operations Manager, to present these awards. Please put your hands together.
Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to adopt the protocols already established by our MC. If we're being entirely honest, teachers can design the most incredible lessons and administrators can build the finest facilities, but a school cannot truly thrive without a heartbeat. And at the Heinz Simonitsch School, our parents are that heartbeat. You're the absolute lifeblood of this institution. True partnership isn't just about showing up for reports or report cards day. It's about being deeply locked in with our school's vision. Over the past year, as we pushed through the intense exam preparations, worked to restore our daily routines, and kept our standards high, it was the support and fierce loyalty of our parents that kept our momentum going. When the school called, our parents answered. There's a profound quote by the legendary Maya Angelou that perfectly captures this bond. I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. The recipients of our Parent Recognition Award this afternoon have made this entire school community feel supported, valued, and freely backed at every single turn and through every challenge. Through every busy term, they have showed up, rolled up their sleeves, and poured their energy into our school's success. It is our absolute honor to present the 2026 HSS Parent Recognition Award to, firstly from J6, we have Mr. and Mrs. Gidwani. Our other J6 Parent Champion Award goes to Mr. and Mrs. Makijani. And for Senior 5 Parent Champion Award, we have Mr. Kevin Stewart. And our final Parent Champion Award from the Senior 5 group is Mrs. Maxine Besacer Davis. My apologies. The final Parent Champion Award goes to Mr. and Mrs. Chin. Referring to Corinne Chin's parents. Thank you to all our parents. Even if you weren't given a trophy today, you're still loved and cherished by the HSS community. Thank you.
And while we prepare for the graduates' charge, I'm not sure if everyone noticed the theme for this year's graduation. It says, amazing starts with us, rebuilding our minds, reshaping our futures. And what Hurricane Melissa taught us was, yes, there are times in our lives when we will have devastation. There are times in our lives when we will feel to give up. There are times in our lives when we do not know what the future holds. But this reminds us that we can change our mindset. It reminds us that we can start rebuilding with us. It reminds us that we can start reshaping our future with small steps and small actions until we are able to achieve more. I remember Jihan said in his message to us earlier that passion meets purpose. It means that in all we do, we give 100%. In everything and every action that we take daily, we give 100%. Because as long as we put passion into our actions, then we will achieve our purpose. Yes, you can go ahead and clap. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me absolute honor to introduce Mrs. Tamara McKenzie, Head of Schools, JPEMBA. She has been the leader, the head cook and bottle washer, as we would say in Jamaica, the person who has led this school through many times of adversity. We remember COVID, and some of us don't even remember it, but that was a time that the challenges started. Day after day, time after time. Right, Mrs. McKenzie? Yes. No. That's what she always says. But she never stopped believing that she's going to change average into amazing. And even when she got knocked down, she used those failures as fertilizers. And even when everything didn't quite work out the way she had planned, she continued strong because she remembered that she's an oak tree and it takes time. And anything worth building takes time. And one thing we know about Mrs. Tamara McKenzie, our head of schools here, is that she's built to last. Ladies and gentlemen, a resounding round of applause for Mrs. Tamara McKenzie, who will do the graduates' charge.
Good afternoon, everyone. We made it. It's finished. But before I get to the speech, I want to start with what I think is the most important, and I'm going to ask the critical team members who really allowed us to stand on the achievements that we're standing on today to come to the front. And I'm going to ask Miss Foot, Miss Reed, Miss Gunter, Miss Ellis, to come to the front. And we have a teacher that I invited, a former teacher, Mr. Gallimore. This one is yours. Please come up here. Students, I had to pull out the big guns and get Mr. Keith to give you a message one more time. And students, you need to stand and you need to give them a big round of applause. Thank you for every late night, for every word of encouragement that you've given to them, for every time they made you scream, for every time they did a little too much and stressed you out. We want to say thank you. Mr. Gallimore, thank you for coming and supporting them as they cross the stage, because they talk about you all the time. And so much of who they have become is because of how you have spent time and shaped them. So we're grateful. Students, thank you. Teachers, thank you very much for coming out. Parents, let's give them a big round of applause. Thank you. Have a seat. Thank you. You can sit. I just told Mr. Gallimore that I cannot give him anything. We're streaming, because he's one of the big boys at early childhood, and I'm one of his board members, and I don't want it to ever be seen that there's anything untoward, Mr. Gallimore. Right, Miss Downey? We have to set the right example. I wanted today in my message to share some things with you that students I know you're not aware of, and I've held out, but I'm going to share it with you because pretty soon you will hear the full story of how we have recovered from the hurricane and a lot of the decisions that I took with great consultation and a lot of prayer that is going to shape a lot of how your grades will come. When we look across Jamaica today, the conversation that we're having as a nation around education is fraught with complex challenges. And the recent Jamaica Education Report Card, we keep talking about trend and transformation. And the ongoing regional discussions, it lays a harsh reality on the table that as a country, as a region, we're facing a systemic learning crisis. However way we splice it, we're further behind than we like to acknowledge. And across our nation, we have too many students who leave our schools that struggle with foundational literacy and less thinking ability than they need. Imagine less than a quarter of high school graduates every year leave school prepared with the required benchmarks for higher education and even to transition into the workforce. We're now at a stage in education where we now have a committee called the National School Leaving Certificate Committee, where all of your transcripts now go before a committee for validation to ensure that every year when school communities meet in forums like these, students are not wandering across a stage aimlessly. But when they do get a certificate of graduation, that it is valuable and it means something. Now, compounding all of the structural deficits that we see, nature has tested us this year. It has tested many of us beyond this building. I remember before the hurricane, I was actually in a sauna with a friend of ours from the JDF, and I felt safe. I felt, you know, we have a plan. We batten down school. Everything is going to be okay, because remember, the first hurricane, the shutters lifted and the dry walls all along this side were compromised, and we fixed them. So I said, well, we have shutters. I mean, what is going to go wrong? And he pulled out his phone and he showed me a map, and he said, that's your roof. You're going to get hit, and that's the part of your roof that's going to go on. I said, Major, that's a little harsh. Why would you say something like that to me before the hurricane? And he said, no, I just wanted you to know. And I went home, I sat with it. And I sat with it, and I said, you know, God, if this is the life you have for me, I don't want it. Because I feel as though in every season, the minute I start to rest, I'm thrown into a crisis. and I'm thrown into a space to figure it out, and I was tired. And my husband said to me, you know, you should be really careful of what you said. And I said to him, I am tired. I turned off my phone, and I decided I'm not thinking about the hurricane. I think people were trying to reach me. My neighbor came. I heard people, our fence was compromised. We had to get security in. King Alarm had to sleep on the roof because the entire property was compromised and people were coming in. We had sewage coming to the school. It was really bad, and I knew it was going to be bad. And I also knew that we never had the capacity to come back. And I thought to myself, what if? What if I just decide that we're done? What if we just say, boy, this is it. Maybe I need to just lay down and die. Because someone said to me the year before, boy, Tamara, you just won't die. No matter what happens, you keep coming back. I never took it as a compliment. So in the moments after the hurricane, I kept thinking, what happens if you just stop? And I didn't stop. When I saw the pictures and the videos, the first thing I decided to do was to check on other principals in other schools, principals who are older than me, principals who I grew up looking up to, principals who I knew genuinely would have been more tired than me because they're now at the tail end of their career and would have lost home and school. And in private education, school is your home. This is your livelihood. Many principals live next to school. When we did this place, I have an apartment upstairs, just in case. And I realized that someone had to be the voice of reason, so we started to mobilize. I started to look around, and nothing was happening. I remember when I decided that we were going to open school, everybody thought I was mad. My husband said to me, it's not wise. I'll never forget it. I was getting ready, and he gave me his strong, unrequested opinion. I was coming to Montego Bay, and this man said to me, I think you should listen to the minister, and you should listen to everybody. And I turned around, and I said, listen, you know, I started teaching on that tree, and I'm prepared to go back. So you can tell everybody whose school is closed that I have experience in this. I started my career actually teaching on that tree. And when I thought about all of our students, especially my fifth formers and sixth formers, I couldn't wait for someone to tell me what the plan was because you needed to come back into your routine. And Kevin's dad lent us some tents. And between him lending us the tent and Mr. Polanco calling and saying, all right, I'll figure out the water. My husband said, okay, I guess these fathers, so what you need me to do now? And I said, yes. I work in a school where I have real support, where even on the home front, there is some energy now that have to come back what these fathers are doing. And I'll never forget it. I had two dads who said, listen, we're going to push, what you say? And then I had another parent who said, listen, I don't think it's going to be easy, you know, but if you want a break, just call me. I'll come help. And little by little, parents started to add some energy to it. And our friends from the convention center decided that, look, our kitchen is operational. Team is at work. Bring the stuff, we'll help with lunch. Don't worry about lunch. And our meals for like the first 2 or 3 weeks were actually prepared there. We just brought the raw materials up there, we came down. We have a plan. A friend of mine from high school called me. He said, Tamar, you know, we have a friend who, he's in the hardware business, and we're proud of you. I'm one of his partners, lean on us. And I said, last time somebody said that, send me one big old bill, no thanks. And he called me back the following week, and he said, we're serious. And you know something? My friends from high school, and I'm telling you this because those men, boys that I used to idle with in high school, found their way to Montego Bay, got experts here, mapped out the repairs for this, checked pricing So I didn't have that to deal with. My friends from high school that I have not really seen since high school found me and stood in the gap because they said, you've come so far, we're not going to lose you. You're going to keep growing, and the school has to open. The materials came, and I never got the bill. And I remember saying to my husband, boy, I hate when people do this. Like, tell me, I feel like, you're going to catfish me. The bill going to come now, and it's going to turn into something. And he said, no, man, just trust it. Good things are happening. And good things have continued to happen because there were dreams that I've had in this facility that started to bear fruit because of the hurricane. And when you look at the chairs, I remember I used to say other people, other stakeholders, they would mock us because of the old chairs that my students sit on. The school is doing so much, but the chairs are old, you think? We is a small school. We have a lot of other priorities. But in the middle of the chaos and the challenges and the hurt, we got new chairs. We fixed our roof. We got better programs. We got new teachers. We got better outcomes. And I share it with you, students, because crisis demands radical approaches. And I'm happy that as a faculty, as a community of parents, we've set an example to you, where wherever you go, whatever life throws at you, you don't run, you don't hide, you don't stand still. You move in the center of it and you do something about it. You see, in this school, we don't treat education as an assembly line. It's a deliberate cultivation of adaptive human capital. When instructional momentum was threatened, we didn't try to catch up. We were never as a school trying to catch up. Instead, as a community, we sat down and we built a strategy to rebuild, to re-engineer, and elevate our standards. And I'm going to tell you some things that we did. Because it really is your story for S5 and J6. I'm going to walk you through it because this is your story of ascent. J6 students, I remember a colleague called me last year in November. I was actually going to an OCHA meeting for all of the heads of different organizations that were here responding to the hurricane in Kingston. And a colleague called me and said, Tamara Mackenzie, you hear what they're going to do for PEP? And I said, no. And she said, well, you need to know and you need to do something about it. And I said, this is interesting. Why am I going to have to be the one to say something about it? Why isn't everybody else who knows what's going to happen do something about it? And I reached out to get the information, and I actually called a very brilliant person. I have a lot of respect for the head of exams. And I asked her one question. Have you developed a response mechanism for students going to high school that is equitable for the students in the affected region? And she said yes. And I said, is it one possible solution? And she said no, 4. And I said, wow, this is awesome because the hurricane just hit. So for us to have the data to guide how we're going to pivot with PEP this early now, we're in November, I'm happy. But we're not hearing about it. And I'm on the national committee, and I'm wondering what's going to happen to everyone. So we reached out, and we said, listen, we want the committee to meet. Everybody started to fight, oh, we don't have time, we have other serious things, as though PEP isn't serious, right? The minister got the approach, and I can say this, and she sent it back to say that the national committee that is appointed across the landscape is supposed to meet and decide. We met for almost 4 hours a day. It's one of the best meetings I've ever been in. We had experts, and let me tell you something, is one thing we don't lack as a country is capacity. We don't lack skill sets. We sat in that meeting for almost 4 hours. We all had a different idea as to what our students needed. Can I tell you, by the time we got to 3.5 hours, we all agreed. We all agreed, and not only did we agree, we were able to put in safeguards so principals could stand in the gap for students who were seriously affected. A lot of people don't know that. There are students who are great students, but they have crisis on exam day. And as principals, we have to advocate on their behalf. And we got those options. And so students, when you look at the adjustments to PEP, it wasn't one bright person who said, oh, this is what we're going to do. You're going to do 3 exams instead of 5. You're going to do them on these dates. We had more than 10 people making the time to create the best and the fairest decision. And that is why we would have had record results. Results where our students in affected regions, their performance have not declined. In our school, we have 6 ESL students. We have 6 students who sat this exam who do not speak English language as their primary language. They relocated to a new country. They had to learn culture. They had to get acclimatized to how we speak, how we behave, our curriculum. Some of them did this exam in grade 6 alone. We had students who don't know anything about our history, who had to learn fast. They did all internal exams and PEP exams. We got 100% pass in literacy and numeracy. All of our students were between proficient and highly proficient. Now, these results that you have gotten, when we started our approach to PEP strategy 6 years ago, when I came to Montego Bay, I was told I was mad. To create the program of specialization that we have, where teachers don't teach everything to one class, but they become master teachers based on their area of expertise, and they concentrate on that. And then we have teachers from the high school who come down and work with them based on the areas that they need. So we have a full end-to-end integration. Your results is 6 years in the making. Now let's take it a step further. These little boys and girls who sat the exam, imagine in this one group, I have more than 6 children passing for traditional high schools in Kingston. Now, I went to Campion. From I've been here in day 1, I want everybody to pick for Campion because I know the education I've gotten. And this year, I had parents who listened, who embraced the changes and the challenges that we had. But importantly, I had parents who listened as well when we resisted extra lessons. When we said, stop putting them all over the place and so many lessons, we want them to think. Because if every day you're in a class, you come to class 8 o'clock to 3 o'clock, you go to class 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock, then your mother take you up 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock, then Saturday you're in a class, then Sunday you're in a class. You know what happened? You don't get the space to think. You know what happens when you go to high school? You're burnt out. You're miserable. And I'm happy that we've been able to balance. There are some of you sitting down, you did swimming in foreign. And you swim, right, Tage? And come back to class. Catch up, tired. You do it anyway. You leave school, you go to swimming, you go to your different activities, and you've been able to balance it out. That's what education is about. It's about enjoying the process of growing up. It's not about getting a big grade. It's not about coming first or second. It's the total development of our students. And that's one of the things that we can celebrate today. Let's look at Senior 5. Senior 5, I'm going to tell you something that you don't know yet, but when your results come out, you're going to read about it. Our school is one of very few in the West that opted to maintain the full execution of our CSEC exam. When the hurricane hit, we were given the option where you could do your multiple choice paper and your SBA. Did you know that? And we rejected it. You know why? Because you're capable, and you're never going to be limited to your next opportunity because you did a different exam. It's never going to happen. And you've done it. So when all of your friends were finished with CSEC 2 weeks before, you are still fighting the fight, which means that if any of my students want to go anywhere and study anything they want to do, they have leverage. We never held them back. We could have taken the easy way out. I could have said to your teachers, well, we get to close school early, we get to finish early, we get to do less. But who has truly achieved anything doing less? And our students did it. You've done it. They're bigger schools, well-resourced schools more than ours that didn't do it. They opted to do what the students could manage. I never had to ask you what you could manage because I know what we've developed. We've built serious capacity in you. And parents, when the results come, you're going to know what we're about. I remember last year we had 2 boys who said they needed to do physics. Remember Mr. Gallimore? To be a pilot. I don't remember what the other student wanted to be. One got a U and ungraded when the results come out. I think one got a 4 or a 5. And they emailed me, Mrs. Mackenzie, you better do something about it. And I said, well, you know, these students really have something in them, you know, you need to do something about it. It was a Sunday. And I went into my office at home and I said, boy, what am I going to do about it? And I kept thinking, and I said, boy, these kids believe in me. We queried the grades. We did an attestation. Our boys got a grade 1 and a grade 2 in physics. This year, I have 2 students. One fell sick in an exam I hear. I was in a board meeting I hear one of my students fell sick and I need to come do something about it. So I'm waiting on the results to come out. So Alejandro, I can do something about it. I have another student who said, boy, miss, I never get to finish. All right, we're going to do something about it. And I share that with you because parents, you're now at the juncture where many challenges will come. You're gonna have to do something about it because our children are being developed in a space where they are told to sit back, to be quiet, to follow the plan. And we know you get nowhere by doing that. And I ask all of you as parents to make sure that you're doing something about it and speaking life into them. Our records at school show an unprecedented pass rate. We have built out a CSEC program that exceeds national numbers. Alex told you he has what? Alex, you have what, 14 subjects? Payal, how many you got in CSEC? Huh? 11. And it goes on because we start them from senior 1. So when your students start with us in high school, we start them up front because we have no barriers on what they can achieve. There are many of our junior 6 students, they pass for Campion, they pass for Georges, they pass for different schools in Kingston. I have 2 ESL students that have passed for Herbert Morrison in this small school. And let me tell you something, they're staying right here. And by the time that group is graduating in senior 5, they're going to come and say they have 17 subjects because they're starting in September. Because why do we need 8 when we can do what they can manage? And how do we know what they can manage until we start with them? And that's the type of energy that we have to surround them with. Students, I'm going to tell you something that I live by. Every time I'm afraid something is new, it's a quote that says, do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. There are many decisions we took this year as a school that everyone thought we were crazy with. And I sit and I smile all the time. You know why? I know that I was created for a time such as this. And I am absolutely confident that every decision we take in this school is for you to win. It's not for it to make sense. And as long as you're achieving, all of us are content that we're doing the right thing. So I'm going to tell you now that we don't need any more followers of old broken paths. A lot of people who are going to give you advice are from people who are not achieving. They're from people with years of seasons of stuckness. It is up to you to be that trailblazer. It is up to you to challenge what is in front of you. It is up to you to determine how far you're going to go. None of you have a pre-carved journey. There's none of you sitting right here where everything has gone how you've planned. So don't let anybody tell you what you're to do and how you're to think. I need you to have radical curiosity. I have a parent in this room. I remember one day I was at a chamber meeting and he said to me, you know, you have audacity. And I sat down for weeks, for months, and I thought about it. And I never thought of myself as someone who is audacious. I always thought of myself as someone who never had a choice. I never had a choice. My only choice was to make education my tool to win. And that is maybe what has carried me. For many of you, you have many choices. Parents, I think we've done so well where children, they have too many choices. And sometimes they really don't choose wisely. So we have to force them to remember that education is the only wing that you need to fly above the crowd. Take schooling seriously. Chase your dreams, own your voice, and claim your space. Have the audacity. Every time I think about that word, I think about courage. I think about just knowing that you deserve to be where you are and taking up the space. There are so many of you. You came here to me from other schools that weren't working out. And there are many times that I would look around and I never thought that this was working out. And we had to make changes and we had to make concessions. And you challenge us. Kevon is one of them. He want to twist up him here. He want to put highlight in him here. He want everything. But follow the rules. Everything. And many of you boys, you come and you challenge, and girls too, and you want to wear your braids, and you want to do this, and Alejandra will come and say, but Miss Mackenzie, it's easier. We get to not think about our hair, and we concede, and we evolve. And I'm proud for every time you guys come in and you stop the day and you create the annoyances because you've learned to negotiate. You've learned to stand on what you want. You've learned to argue back, which is good and it has its place. And I'm very happy that you've also learned when to be quiet. There are many of you that I'm looking at where on the toughest days you've encouraged me. I don't think any of you know this, but I'll share it with you because it's a joke at home. Once I go to the canteen, I'm actually dodging a decision in my office. Anytime you see me go over the canteen to cook lunch, there is some big decision that is waiting on me that I don't have the capacity at that time to make. And my students always make it easy. One of them will say something that forces an idea. Someone will help me to do the dishes. Someone will come and spend some time. And it all comes together for us to find our feet. And I'm going to tell you, I absolutely am going to miss those days. Aiden, I'm going to miss you searching for me with dialects to tell me what you want for lunch the next day because you think that that is my job at school. I'm going to miss you boys coming back after I've served your lunch to ask for more food. It tickles me every time when you come back that you feel safe enough to tell me that you want more. I'm also going to miss those of you who will come and say, Miss Mackenzie, we need salt. We need salt. We're not trying to lose weight like you. We need salt. I'm going to miss all of you. I'm going to miss coming to school in the mornings and watching you boys wait to bring my bag in because I've chewed you out about what it means to be a gentleman. I'm going to miss when you get your hair cut or you get lined up and you sit in the office because you want me to tell you that you look handsome today. Even though for the last 3 months you haven't seen your barber, I'm going to miss those. Julius, I'm going to miss you coming back after reflecting to say, Miss. That was a little harsh, but thanks. I thought about it. I'm going to miss all of those little moments. And I'm going to share with you something, students, that I think captures a lot of how I've seen you stand in rooms where many thought you don't belong because you go to a entitled private school, or however they try to saddle you up in rooms. The ruin of a nation begins in the homes of its people, but the restoration of nations begin in rooms like this. And so if you truly believe that you have something in you that changes communities, changes rooms, you're going to walk with that power that you have. I'm proud that all of my students sitting in front of me over the course of their time here, they've found their voice. You have that DNA of excellence. You have that power with you. Every time you go on the road and we're not with you and they call me back and they say, wow, I love your students, send them back. Every time I hear you guys go to the convention center, you go somewhere in tourism, and then all of a sudden these places are inviting us because they love the confidence of the students. I know you've got it. Continue to walk with it. Now, parents, I told you that it's the collective that brought us back. It's the collective that brought me back. When I hear my colleagues talk about parents who are not engaged or supportive, I have to be quiet, because one of the things that I think fuels us as a school community is the trust that parents place in us. I don't have parents who are disruptive. I don't have parents who are rude. If anything, I have parents who stretch capacity. I have parents who will call. There's a lady at the back, Mrs. Bissay, so she will call, you know. So she knows what she wants, but here's how it goes. Principal Mackenzie, you know, I was thinking, or what do you think? Did you see that article? What are your plans for? So walk me through something. Is sixth form? Tell me what you think. What would you? And I love it. I live for it, because parents, many of you are experts in your field, and I can't touch your field. For some of you, if you come and tell me, boy, the water that collects right there, this is what you need, I leave it. I had a parent who come and telling me something about termites, and I said, okay, you can do it, because I don't want to learn. And in this school, I know I have parents with deep respect for the expertise that we have. Parents who trust the process, who want you to guide, who want to challenge you. I had a student in my office yesterday, Corinne. Corinne is practicing her speech. And suppose I tell you, this little girl who came here shy looks up at me and says, Mrs. Mackenzie, there is a school that is going to email you, and this is what I need you to do. So first of all, I'm wondering if Corinne really telling me what she needs. She's not asking me what she's entitled to, you know. She's telling me that this is what I need, and her mind is made up. So I said, Corinne, the school has not asked me for that. She said, well, that's what they mean. Because I said to her, they asked me if you come here. She said, Miss Mackenzie, let me tell you the whole story. And she told me the whole story, and then she told me what I needed to do. So I ignored her because I am working. She and the Alexa are working. No, she bring it up again. So I said, okay, Corinne, let me look for the email. This is what the people them write me. She said, okay, but this is what you need to say when you respond to them. So I said, okay, Corinne, this is what I said. Corinne, I responded to them. She said, okay, miss, thank you. I really appreciate it. And I'm thinking all of last night, what's going to happen with Corinne at 20 years old when she goes into rooms? Who is Corinne going to be to get what she wants out of the room? She's going to be the person that's not leaving. Corinne, you're going to be a me. When I go down to the ministry, everybody rolls their eyes like she's again. She's come back again. But parents, I left yesterday proud because I realized in that moment when she checked me that my faculty and I, we've raised students who don't take what you have for them. They take what they know they need out of the situation. And they're going to leverage everything they need to walk out of the room with what they have. And I'm proud of you that you kept bringing it up. You had no shame at all. And students, you see that thing where people try to shame you? I need you to be a me. Don't even pay them any mind. You've gotten it. You see a teacher, we don't have no shame in here. We're going to do what we need to do to get the job done. And I want you to keep that at the forefront. I am proud when I see the students interact outside of school, how they look after each other, how they look out for each other. And parents, that's because of you. We have raised good kids, and I want to say a big thank you for tending to the soil of their potential. Every kid comes in with potential, but you've tended to it, and you've created a space of serious financial and emotional sacrifice. When I listen to these kids and the exposure that they get, the opportunities that they get, when I listen to the PEP students about some of the promises that some of you have made to them that you're going to have to deliver this weekend into next month, and the gifts that you owe them, please make sure that you back it up, because they've achieved. And to my CSEC students, I am excited for the results. Just drop me a note. You don't need to be scared. I've watched our preparation. I've watched you. I am excited. This year will be a very big year for us. And that is why I made sure we pulled on Mr. Gallimore, we pulled on Mr. Keith, because they've been a big part of your foundation. And you cannot just win and leave your foundation out of it. But this year, we're looking for more regional prizes. Last year, we got a regional prize for Cape in Spanish. Imagine in sixth form or small sixth form program, our students passed all of their subjects with distinctions. All of our students got distinctions in sixth form, the small sixth form. And one of our students, he was in the hurricane, had no electricity at home, no internet, and I told my neighbor that we have to go in the car because I needed to get some Wi-Fi because results were out the night. And everybody was laughing at me, Kevin. Everybody was laughing at me as usual. And we drove down to Rio. We drive down to the stoplight pass out here. When I get to Bottom Road and the document load, and we kept scrolling, and I seen all of the schools down here. And of course, my neighbors and my husband saying, no man, you can just look on it tomorrow, look on it tomorrow. Guess what? Heinz Simonitsch School, Spanish for Cape. I never even waited on them to say congratulations. I ran, left all of them and screamed in the place, because this little program, this small school, we've demonstrated time and time again, your weight is never in size, it's in impact. So this year, we're gonna brace for some more prizes. We have put in the work and we're gonna do it. So parents, thank you for waking up every day, for putting your students first, for putting them in the rooms that they needed to be in. And last and definitely not least, to our teachers, all of you, you've been the architects of this moment. You have gotten up, walked into work, and you have chosen to buy into the vision of the leader within every single learner in the classroom. You never dealt with them as just students. You saw the future potential of them. I have one student here who was my only student who wanted to do history in CSEC. We funded it. Alex is my only history student, and he was able to do history classes right through. We never cut the subject because only one student was in the class. We paid for it. We never asked the parents to subsidize it because of the hurricane. We paid for it. This right here, every minute him change him subjects. Every minute him change him subjects. This year he needed to do geography in senior 5 when we can't find any geography teacher. But we figured it out. Miss Horton met with him, made the time. He has done geography. And from what I understand, he's going to bring home some exceptional results that we're looking for. And I share that with you because even if one child wants to do something, we're going to make it happen here. You're not going to have to go anywhere to do it. I hear parents talk all the time. What about this? What about that? Ask the students in the program how they've been doing, how they've been managing. So teachers, thank you. Thank you for loving these children who are not your biological children and putting in the work to make them now global leaders. Thank you for allowing them the space to fail, to win, and importantly, to learn. And to everybody in the room that has contributed, my ancillary staff, my administrative team, the support team, thank you. You know what goes into showing up for these students and representing them. The admin team is tired of the many competitions and registration, but they do it. If we have a deadline on a Sunday, they do it. If it's holiday, they do it. And because of you, the students are here and they have a great memory. So I want to say a big thank you to everyone. You have done it. You have achieved the impossible. You're only going to grow from here. Have a safe summer. Continue to grow in the summer. Leverage all opportunities. You're not off the hook. It's just another season. Start the plans, be deliberate, stay focused, and we're always here for whatever you need. Whether it is summer, next year, the year after, we're always going to be here for you. Congratulations.
Thank you. What have you learned about me so far? Can anyone guess what I'm going to ask you to do? Another round of applause. Another round of applause. There were some strong words and messages I heard, and I always think that when you hear strong charges, it requires reiteration. Weight is never in size, but is in impact. She's going to miss those moments that you thought that you were annoying her, that you thought that you were challenging her. She's going to miss those moments. And although she didn't say this, what I heard was thank you for recognizing that I too am a human being. And I too need support. Because for all those times she was cooking, which I never know she could cook, but for all those times that she was cooking and she was over at the canteen, you all recognized that she needed you, and you stepped up and you were there. Thank you for being you. I also heard, leave a trail. Walk in that room with power. Parents, you heard that? Because you're a part of that, you know. Allowing your children to walk into those rooms, these rooms, and preparing for the rooms that they're going to walk into with power. Education is the only the only wings you have to fly above the ground. And what it shows us is that dedication, hard work, persevere, oh my God. Persevering even when things get tough, even when the cards are stacked against you, even when everyone says you shouldn't or you can't. Continue to do what feels right in your heart. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to say that this has been one of the best graduation ceremonies. And I say that every year. All right, I really mean it for this one. Because you know what? Each year it just gets better and better. I walked in and I said, wow, in here is beautiful. And I messaged Mrs. Mackenzie and I said, oh gosh, Fab, it's so beautiful in here. It's so nice. Because we have to challenge ourselves no matter what's going on, that each time we do something, we've got to do it better and better and better. So give yourselves a round of applause. Graduation is just the beginning of your future and everything that you are going to do. And we're not done yet. We're almost there, so hang in there with me. I love how nobody's not moving though, you know. I really love that. I don't see anybody getting up and going outside. I just see everybody paying attention, and it means that you are engaged, just like Mrs. Mackenzie said earlier. And we have another surprise. It looks like we're just full of surprises, Miss Witter. We have another surprise video that is from our graduating class of J6. And it's a gift from the Gidwanis. So let's sit back, relax, and enjoy.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
Damn, who knew? All the planes we flew, good things we've been through. That I'll be standing right here talking to you about another path. I know we love to hit the road and laugh, but something told me that it wouldn't last. Had to switch up, look at things different, see the bigger picture. Those were the days, hard work forever pays. Now I see you in a better place. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side. And now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
It's been a long day without you, my friend. And I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
First you both go out your way and the vibe is feeling strong. And what's small turn to a friendship turn to a bond. And that bond will never be broken, the love will never get lost. And when brotherhood come first, then the line will never be crossed. Established it on our own when that line had to be drawn. And that line is what we reach, so remember me when I'm gone. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side. And now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
Don't let the light guide your way. Yeah. Hold every memory as you go. And every road you take will always lead you home. Oh, it's been a long day without you, my friend. And I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again. It's been a long day without you, my friend. And I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
And awesome. A big thank you to the Gidwanis. Whew, I have to take a breath for this one. I know I've used this term probably about 2 times since I've been on the stage, but I believe that this is the greatest honor I have ever been asked to do is to introduce Mr. Kevon Stewart, the head boy of Heinz Simonitsch School, to do the vote of thanks. I am so proud of you, Kevon. And I'm sorry, okay? I know you're gonna knock it out of the park. Forgive me. Ladies and gentlemen, our head boy for the Heinz Simonitsch School, Kevon Stewart.
I promise it's not tears, I'm just sweating. Good afternoon, everyone. Let me start. And you know what? I was going to come with a piece of paper today to give something from what ChatGPT wrote, but I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to give this vote of thanks from the heart to everyone here today. And I want to start by doing the most special one to Miss Mackenzie, our head of schools. When I came here as a student that was, I don't know, bullied, weird at Cornwall, she listened to my funny stories. She encouraged me to chase greatness. Not many principals do that. They stay in their office and they don't even know the names of half their students, but Miss, she was like a second mother to us, to her miserable little children, always guiding us, telling us what's wrong and what's right. We thank you. So I want all of us to live in the moment, to live in the now, and to say thank you. I want to also say thank you to our parents who are there for us when we think that it's too challenging to continue on. You're there for us, motivating us with speeches, pep talks, advice on how to move forward. And that's the reason why we are all exceptional today. So I thank you. We thank you. The graduating class, thank you. I want to say thank you to the teachers who rain down assignments on us, who teach us from more than just the textbooks. They teach us about life, especially Mr. Gallimore always teaching us on social skills, how to be better students, how to fix our mistakes. We needed you, and you were there for us. I want to say thank you to the staff who give me a fresh start in the morning where I may feel sad and come in sad. They talk to me and tell me that I will have a good day today, that I will be great, and that I am already starting to be a young man of success and achievement. We needed you. When we get nosy and damage the equipment, or when we're hungry and we want something in the tuck shop new, you were there for us, and we always needed you. So thank you. And to my fellow graduates, oh my goodness, the late night calls to be prepared for the worst exam, the many assignments, and most importantly, the unforgettable memories that we have in our spare time, to motivate each other, to call each other brothers and sisters. It is my honor to tell you guys thank you for being such awesome graduates today. And we will continue to change average into amazing. So I want everyone to give yourselves a round of applause and tell yourself thank you as we conclude this graduation today. Thank you.
ChatGPT is awesome, but when you speak from your heart, it's awesomer. Ladies and gentlemen, our head boy, Mr. Kevon Stewart. Well done, well done, well done, Kevon. Huh? Wow, another wonderful year. Another wonderful year, Mrs. Mackenzie. Miss Witter, I'm looking forward to next year. I like this seat. It was very nice and comfortable and right in front of the porta coolers. You can put me back here next year. Ladies and gentlemen, before we go, Another round of applause for our graduating class from J6 and S5. Congratulations, you did it. You turned average into amazing, and I have no doubt that you will achieve everything you set your mind to do. To our parents, thank you for being the community that surrounds this school. So they are always protected. They are always supported. Thank you for everything that you do. Every little bit counts. 1 cocoa, full baskets. So don't ever think that what you're doing is small or you are not doing enough. Everything that you are doing makes a difference. And to our teachers, I'm going to ask all of you to stand. Because when we can't do it, teachers, because when we cannot do it, you are here taking care of our kids. And your impact brings results. And we know that some days they can be just as annoying at school as they are annoying at home, right? But thank you for putting up with them. Thank you for loving them as they are your own. And thank you for creating a safe space for them to be who they are every single day that they walk through the doors of Heinz Simonitsch. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, our graduation 2026 is over. Throw up your hands. Refreshments are on the outside. I'd like everybody to, the graduates, please stand.
Change ever since we was on, I dreamed it all. Ever since I was young, they said I will be nothing. Now they always say congratulations. Worked so hard, forgot how to vacation. They ain't never had the dedication. People hating, say we changing, look, we made it. Yeah, we made it.
Thank you so much, graduates. Please bring your caps and hats, and gowns back to the office, please. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no need to rush. There are refreshments outside. Please enjoy. Thank you, and have a great summer.
Everyone wanna act like they important, but all that mean nothing when I saw my door. Yeah. Everyone counting on me, drop the ball. Yeah. Everything custom like I'm at the bottom. Yeah, yeah. If you winning, put your lighters to the sky. How could I make sense when I got millions on my mind? Coming with it, I just put it to the side. Bought a sense of baby, they could see it in my eyes. My mama called, see you on TV. Sunset done changed. Ever since we was on, I dreamed it all. Ever since I was young, they said I won't be nothing. Now they always say congratulations. Worked so hard, forgot how to vacation. They ain't never had the dedication. People hating, say we changing, look, we made it. Yeah, we made it. I was patient, yeah. Oh, I was patient. Now I can scream that we made it. Now everywhere I go, they say congratulations. Young graduation. I pick up the rock and I ball, baby. I'm looking for someone to call, baby. But right now I got a situation. Never old Ben Franklin. Big rings, champagne. My life is like a ball game, but instead I'm in a trap though. Pot so big, call it Super Bowl. Super Bowl, caught up, get in the rolls. Top flow lifestyle, Huncho and Post, Malone. I got a play on my phone. You know what I'm on. Huncho Houdini is gone. My mama called. TV, sunset done changed. Ever since we was on, I dreamed it all. Ever since I was young, they said I won't be nothing. Now they always say congratulations. Worked so hard, forgot how to vacation. They ain't never had the dedication.